Hello. Hello. Good evening. Hi, I just made it in a little bit late over here. It looks like apparently one of my scenes died, but we'll have to fix that later tonight after the stream is over. Good evening. How are you? Hello, Hababa. Good evening. I am well. How have you been? Hello, all of you. Yeah, you can see we've got all the squares animating in the background. I don't dislike this, uh, but it is definitely the background for a different scene, games, when there isn't something on screen, so it's not just, well, darkness. Uh, I don't know what actually happened there, so we'll have to fix that. I'm gonna hop into that and find out what happened to that scene. I think I might have actually just deleted the source, but I'll just have to go into stream elements afterwards. Right, that reminds me. Hey Siri, remind me at 11 o'clock to check stream elements backgrounds. There we go. That's a useful Siri instead of a getting in the way Siri. All is well here. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. I have some yapping for today before we hop into the Zeldas. I have been, as y'all seen, I have not been live for a little bit of time. I've been doing all the things for a bit. I've been cooking. Still waiting to see how Apple Intelligence improves Siri. Yes, absolutely, I agree. I am looking forward to seeing what exactly it brings to the table. I've seen a couple of the spotlights and what it does and doesn't do, just because I'm in the Apple developer circle. So I get all of those technical documents and all of the insider information on exactly how that works and what people have been doing with it for innovation on saying, here's what we can do with it, here's what we have been doing with it, here's what you can do that you couldn't do before, and all that. But just like when iPhone was new and when people were still getting Blackberries because it was the business phone and all that. Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a time where people just don't know how to take proper advantage of it, and it's going to be like, oh, haha, funny, we've got AI. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time before people figure out how to use it to the best of its ability instead of making your iPhone application that's just bubble wrap popper. I agree. Waiting to see what it does and how people wind up using it. Like, of course, Apple's going to have to drive the boat there to really show people, hey, do this. And then you're going to get all the things out of it. But fingers crossed that that goes over well, because it has a lot of potential. Hi, I'm technical. I love getting into all the details about the technical things. I've been watching the Apple Vision Pro for... I almost pre-ordered one, but then last minute, right as I was about to pre-order one, I was like, oh, I need to buy a house. So I don't actually have a Vision Pro, and I'm waiting for, budget-wise, it to be capable again. But I've also been watching all the updates there. Just another one of those things that's in that same mode. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's interesting. It's like, oh, hey. Virtual reality, augmented reality, all the things. And I can say, here's how it works, what's going on, and what you actually get out of it in particular that you wouldn't get from just having something else. And you'll have everyone that bought the phones when they released based on the advertisements that they think is what they have right now is it. Yep. Since it was saying, hey, Apple Intelligence isn't launching until later. I don't actually remember what that later is off the top of my head. Apple Intelligence release date. October 28th. So we do have it now, but the question is, are people actually using it now, and do people have hardware that supports it? Like, I think a couple of my devices do, but not all of them. Ooh, January for the rest of it. Where am I going to find that information? Probably from the recent Apple update. New Apple Intelligence features will be available in December. Additional capabilities rolling out in the coming months. I see. Summarization of notifications. Okay. Natural writing. Okay. No, you are absolutely right. The initial rollout was October 28th, and from Apple's own newsroom letter, although the initial set of features, which includes photo modification, Siri conversation, writing tools, system-wide, go away Siri, I'm not talking to you this time. And let's see, photos, Siri, notification updates, sorting of information from inside Apple applications itself. There's going to be more coming in December and in coming months, which probably does include like January, etc. Writing tools will be coming out in December, GPT style sort of things for your notes, etc. Priority notifications in a general coming months, with no exact information on when that is or what that is. But should be interesting to see what actually happens with that. Putting out a press release with this headline seems a bit misleading. Apple Intelligence is available today on iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Well, yeah, some of the features are actually already there. And then, of course, yeah, there is more to come. And I would be surprised if any newsroom ever gave a actually helpful direct leading title, since those are always all over the place. I agree. It would be nice if it said, hey, some features now with more to come, or something like that. Or like partial rollout. That would definitely be more accurate and helpful for consumers. To say, oh, okay. So I get a couple of things right now. And that's all we have right now. As opposed to, oh, this is all it is and this is all it's going to be. Or, hey, I have everything, and start going looking for things and I can't find any of the stuff. Yeah, absolutely. The Apple Vision, I'm still waiting for like better keyboard stuff with that, since that was not bad, but could have been better. Fingers crossed for more advancements there in that field. For the non-tech folks specifically, but it probably doesn't matter to them anyway. Yeah. You're probably right, and I didn't realize I actually scrolled my model way out. Whoops. Sorry. Oh boy. But yeah. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. I think it's going to be overall helpful for us in the long term, but there's going to be a little bit of a interim, to put it lightly, for people figuring out what things are and what things do and what things don't do. For sure, for sure. Ooh, I need to send thing. There we go. But yeah, one of the things I wanted to actually highlight today, have you seen the Monster Hunter Wilds beta? The beta, I keep calling it a demo. I keep calling it a demo. But yeah, was a beta. Was very interesting. I swear I didn't spend too much time on it. According to Steam, I only played for 22 hours. It wasn't that bad. It could have been worse. I definitely know some of my friends from the community, since I actually come from the Monster Hunter community, had played for quite a bit. Some of them had upwards of 50, 60 hours in the game. I definitely wasn't that far. I didn't get that much into it, for sure. You're right. I did, and I saw you were on it this weekend too. Kiddo played the heck out of it. Ooh. Ooh. I can definitely rant for a little bit of time about this particular topic. So I actually wrote down some of my thoughts on the Monster Hunter Wilds beta, and oh, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to playing this when it comes out at the end of February, start of March, because it's coming on the Friday of the last week of February, February 28th. Yeah, last day of February. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. Oh, so much looking forward to it. Yeah. Kid, it was just around 10. Okay. They probably had a lot of experience. Oh, bit bummed when I. Yeah, yeah. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. I'm saying, let me in, let me in. just like the GIF that people will be sharing online. I told her we could do some PC upgrades for Christmas. Hey, I hope that the game ran well for you. My PC is pretty good. You can see the specs right down below inside the description for the channel. It's a little bit old at this point, but it still ran the game on 4K on high ultra settings at around like 60 frames per second. Some people were not so lucky with the performance of the game. But yeah, all around, the top-down summary of my thoughts on the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. I was definitely looking forward to testing it out, taking a look at what they had in store, seeing how it ran on the computers, and seeing how the servers were, which was definitely the point of the beta 1. Hey, are we finding bugs? How does it run on people's computers at a large scale? And how does it handle with the servers? Overall, the thing felt pretty smooth. Ran great for me, but it didn't even look at what my settings were. Yeah, that makes sense, absolutely. If it looked good and felt good, and that was enough, honestly, that is enough. It was pretty smooth from my experience, and that's really all I cared about. It ran, it didn't freeze, it looked good, and I didn't feel like the thing was just about to lock up on me while I was just trying to hop on in and see what the content was. Overall, the menu experience was pretty smooth. The weapons were all around pretty enjoyable. I didn't have any that I actually disliked. I actually enjoyed all the weapons. Like, I don't know what I'm going to play when this thing comes out in end of February, start of March of 2025. They're all good. I could play them all. The multiplayer was pretty smooth. The solo, same deal. A couple of things had a little bit of awkward names to them, but that wasn't a big difficulty for me. I can definitely see that being a little bit confusing for others. But the overall analysis was not too bad. Not too bad. It's going to be exciting. Kiddo has a 5900X, might upgrade her to my 7700X and get a 9800 X3D. Little less sure what to do for the GPU. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think that it had too much of a problem with NVIDIA GPUs versus AMD GPUs. And right now, there are some reasonably performant AMD GPUs that are comparable to NVIDIA GPUs, but at a lower price point. And then there are some decently priced higher ones if you want to go for just like swapping out a beefier one into the older computer and replacing it with a not poorly priced one to go in the beefier machine, assuming you've got the cooling to account for it. That's actually one of the things I'm going to bring up in my notes here in just a little bit. But I didn't feel like it actually ran too bad, whether there was the gameplay experience, the menus, or otherwise. I'm generally pretty optimistic about what we saw from the beta. I did spend a lot of my time going back and forth between solo gameplay and multiplayer gameplay with a couple of my friends from the Monster Hunter community, and it didn't really impact the enjoyment of the game either way. I very much enjoyed the solo gameplay as much as I did the multiplayer gameplay with some of my friends. We did some pretty awkward and amusing, hilarious stuff when we were in the multiplayer experience. But at the same time, the solo stuff was also very smooth. It's like, hey, this isn't bad. This is not bad at all. I could keep going, and I did keep going, for potentially longer than I should have, considering I did still manage to get about 22 hours in the game. I love AMD CPUs, prefer NVIDIA GPUs. Yeah, that makes sense. NVIDIA has definitely been pretty solid in the GPU field for quite a while. The AMD CPUs have been nice in the last decade. Did you land on a favorite weapon? Actually, no. I'm still thinking, what am I going to play? What am I going to play when the game releases? Overall, they just all felt really good. I will definitely elaborate, but I tried all of the weapons for at least 5 hunts each. And I didn't dislike any of them. I kept switching back and forth between the bowguns and the bows, the greatsword, longsword, dual blades, hammer, insect glaive. I went back over to longsword, I hopped over to lance and gun lance, charge blade and switch axe, sword and shield. I got so many mounts with the sword and shield because their new jump. That was silly and I loved it. All the things, honestly, I didn't feel too bad. The hunting horn even was very cool with the echo bubble and everything else. All of it, that was pretty good. But yeah, so like I said, I did do at least 5 hunts with each weapon. I didn't spend like 30, 40, 50 hours in the game like some of the other streamers from the Monster Hunter community or people who have been in that with Capcom partnership and so on. They were definitely getting a lot more content time in there since, well, that's what they do. They are content creators under Capcom. I'm a gamer. that primarily spends time in software engineering instead of content creation. So that makes sense. Uh, but yeah, I went for solo and group hunts with all of the weapons. I tried them out a good bit. At least 5 hunts with each of the weapons. I absolutely loved pretty much all of them. And felt like, oh, for this playstyle, you probably want to go for these weapons. And back and forth for each of the different weapon types. It's like, oh, okay. If this is how I want to play it, then I'll pick these. Like if I like stamina mitigation and just playing like Levi from Attack on Titan, I'm gonna go with bow and dual blades, and just perfect dodge, backflip, wham, blam, slide through the monsties, and then land on the opposite side and send a Dragon Piercer right back the way that I came. Yeah. Or like Sword and Shield and Hunting Horn and Insect Glaive was a fun combo that I tried out. But all the different things. Ultimately, the last one that I spent a lot of time on during the beta wound up actually being the dual blades and the bow, just because of that whole, hey, I'm Levi from Attack on Titan. All of the very active, high, fast-paced combat from that was very amusing, and I got a little giggle out of that with the Attack on Titan type focus attack of the dual blades, where you're just sliding down the entire length of the Monstie, especially with some of the longer ones, like Sparky Boy, Raidao from Area 9 at the sand pile, where all the electrical environment effects were centered, or if you hopped over to Area 13, that's the southeast of the map and the north of the map if you were oriented north on your mini-map, near where the Alpha Guma was, and to the east of the desert, where it was the Shocky place, where Raidao would go back to sleep, if I'm remembering the numbers correctly. All of them felt great, and I'm definitely going to wind up making builds for every weapon. And I think probably the way I'm going to do my first playthrough, the campaign playthrough, is actually going to wind up being with the bow and dual blades, just because of the really high-paced, very fast-paced, active game style. Whew. My voice is going dry. What about you? Did you land on any particular favored weapons when you were doing the beta? Or saying, hey, I really like the feel of this particular weapon, or like, oh no, the gun lance felt a little bit too slow. The charge blade felt a little bit slow and weak compared to what it used to be for getting my big numbers or my nice guards and blocks. Where did you land with that, as far as what you liked or disliked about the weapon, or what your preference was, or how you say, if you came in and actually played with your favorite weapon, how did your favorite weapon actually feel in Rise? What did you like or not about that? Only did the intro mission use Sword and Shield, and that was it. Yeah, that was a very interesting. I loved that mission with the tutorial and how they brought you into the game. What do you feel about the Sword and Shield, as far as how it played differently from like World or Rise? If you played Rise, I'm sure Sword and Shield felt a little bit different. World, probably a little bit more the same, but even then still a little bit different from even World's style. How did you feel about how the weapon had changed from the previous titles with that? Some of the things that I noticed were that regardless of which weapon I chose myself, all of them felt a lot more smooth. In general, I could get into the weapon and out of the weapon a little bit faster, especially with calling the secret, which are the bird mounts that you would whistle for if you pressed up on the D-pad or right on the D-pad. That definitely made it feel a little bit smoother since you could hop right into that while you were still fighting. Take your potions or switch weapons or sharpen or whatever it was, and it didn't feel like you were blocking and halting to like get out your weapon or start fighting. Only used Insect Glaive in World. Wanted to try something else? Absolutely. Hello, Alexia. Good evening. How are you? We are yapping about the Monster Hunter Wilds beta that just ended over this weekend before hopping into some Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. How are you? Good evening. Have you played the Monster Hunter games before? How about, you mentioned the Insect Glaive in World. Yeah, I did notice with like the Insect Glaive, you can't stay in the air infinitely anymore, but even then, it still felt pretty good. It felt really smooth to transition between everything. Yes, absolutely. That was super fun. Super fun to just get in. It's like, oh, hey, I don't have to stop just to play the game. Couldn't figure out how to get off the chocobo. Oh, I appreciate this. I appreciate this so much. Yeah. I definitely got stuck on the chocobo a couple of times. Sometimes I got stuck off of the chocobo. This sector was a wonderful little thing. If you didn't find it, there is a nice little secret for you with the secrets inside the Sand Village. If you go back there again, it'll send you over to there as part of the story, and even shows it to you on the map. You'll just have to go looking around there for the secret, but it is ridiculously cute, and you're gonna love it. I swear. They were so tiny, and oh my goodness, I loved it. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'll let you leave you wondering if you haven't already seen the social media posts about that. There have definitely been tons, because oh my goodness, it's great. Alexia writes, I played that a little bit, but didn't get deep into it. It was interesting. I'm a nerd. I come from the Monster Hunter community, and I really enjoy the games. It took me a long while to get actually into the games, probably because of what I did to get myself into it. It was the worst way I could have actually gotten into Monster Hunter, but the overall outlook was, this is going to be a fun one for people to get into, especially if they've never played a Monster Hunter before. I feel like they did a little bit right there. And that writes, I was worried that it was just me. Yeah. Getting stuck on or off the chocobos. It took me a little bit to get used to that. There was a bit of a learning curve. No pun intended with the curves of the bird. But that was an enjoyable experience all around. In spite of the learning curve that I had with saying, oh, hey, here are the controls. Right off the bat. You played a little bit, didn't get deep into it. Would you say that you wound up forming any opinions on whether that was a kind of game that you enjoyed, just from doing a little bit with it? Or would you say, actually, I didn't wind up spending enough time in there to say, no, not my kind of game, or actually I really enjoyed that one way or another, from just not spending or being able to get enough of an opinion from a brief hop into it? I'm sure that some games like, oh, hey, no, right away whether or not this is the kind of thing for you. Especially with a title like Monster Hunter. It's just so different from some other titles out there, with all the combination of like fighting game inputs, yet at the same time also being a boss battle. It's like, oh, hey, this is gonna smack me, and I need to be uh, attentive to what's actually going on, because it's actually got a little bit of difficulty to it. Even if it's not like Elden Ring or Sekiro or Dark Souls style level difficulty, it's got a little bit to it for sure. And some people find out really quickly whether or not that's their kind of game. What did you feel from hopping into the title and looking at what they have to offer from the new title, to say, hey, yeah, whether new player or old player hopping in saying, oh yeah, this fit me. How did you feel about that experience? Was it like something you'd say, hey, yeah, I could really get into this, or no, this isn't really welcoming to new players? Definitely feel free to comment about that. I'd love to hear your opinions on how that turned out. My fingers are crossed that it's generally pretty inviting to new players and old players alike. That's what I'm definitely hoping for. With the multiplayer experience and the single player experience, the single player experience, in my opinion, from the game, it was pretty good, pretty straightforward. I didn't have to take a look around too much to say, oh, hey, here's what's going on, here's what I'm trying to find. The multiplayer experience, I did have a little bit of a learning curve to figure out how to actually do the things. I'm hoping it does well. I plan on pre-ordering it for both myself and the kiddo. That is exciting to hear. That means more people to play with. I'm actually talking with another friend of mine from the Monster Hunter community about setting up a Monster Hunter title giveaway, because I want more people to play with. I'm excited for the game, and I'm really hoping that other people either enjoyed it or will be able to enjoy it too. To that, I'm like, hey, I wanna get this in the hands of more people. So we'll actually see about that. It's still the early conversations, so more details are going to be fleshed out over the next probably 3 or 4 days. But with the multiplayer experience, I actually had to spend a little bit of time to figure out how to do the multiplayer correctly. I mentioned a little bit ago about how some of the, I really should change my topic for the thing if I'm going to be yapping as long as I am. Let's change this over to just chatting. There we go. Click done. There, fixed. And maybe hit the stream title. A little bit of Monster Hunter Wilds yap, then game. There we go. Fix that. That's better. Because I realized, hey, I'm still yapping. I'm not done yapping yet. I should probably go ahead and tag that. Yeah, I'm super excited about the multiplayer, but at the same point, like I said, some of the names were a little bit confusing or deceiving. Like the multiplayer, the lobbies had changed. I'm really happy that the lobbies are nice and large. The Monster Hunter World lobbies used to be 16 players. If I remember correctly, the lobbies for Monster Hunter Wilds are 100 players. That's a big difference. And you can see a lot of people when you're inside town. Now, of course, that changes as soon as you step outside of town and you get into the field. You can only see the people that are actually either in your what I'm going to refer to temporarily as party, and I'll elaborate on that in a little bit. Or I'll say your environment, because that's going to tie into actually explain from the game's features in a little bit. Or just the people that are on the quest with you. Bean, hello! Hello, friend. How are ya? Good evening. Did you play the Monster Hunter Wilds beta? Did you play the Monster Hunter Wild beta? Did you play the Monster Hunter Wild beta? I'm sorry. I'm really excited about it. I had a bunch of blast. We've been yapping about that. I miss your face too, friend. The setting everything on fire has definitely been fun. I hope that we get to sit down and just relax and chill again soon. It has things have just been so darn busy. I hope that you have been well. Did not get access to it by access. I mean, I was busy. Yeah, I hear ya. I actually carved time away so that I would be able to do it. But otherwise, I would have completely missed it because I have been nonstop slammed. But hello, friend. Hello. We are yapping about the beta for a little bit before we hop into Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom to finally finish the thing. Assuming that I'll have enough time left after yapping to be able to finish. But I'm okay with it either way. However it goes. Woo. Yeah, the multiplayer. We were actually really confused about it at first. I had heard some of the news in advance, like, oh hey, you have to do this particular thing to play with your friends cross lobby. But yeah, the lobbies are like 100 players, which is really good to hear because that means you can play with more of your friends. If you want to do like a private lobby and say, hey, all of y'all hop into my lobby, we can mix and match however we want to do for our quests. So you could potentially have your entire Twitch stream or your entire Discord group all in the same lobby instead of saying, oh, well, we have to create a new lobby. We don't have enough people, or we don't have enough slots for the rest of the people from the group. And then you just split up that. Sometimes it's like, oh, darn. Now you have 16 people in one and 2 people in another, and you say, well, that's unfortunate. That doesn't feel great. But bumping up to the 100-player lobby size definitely opens that up, and actually kind of feels a little bit more like an MMO-ish sort of deal. That's pretty neat. My time is finally freeing up, so I can hopefully start planning D&D again. Hey, if you need a hand with any of the stuff just to make it easier for you, without necessarily spoilers, just say like, hey, can you do XYZ so that I can spend more of my time on doing the like planning for the stuff that's actually coming up. Definitely feel free, and I'd be happy to lend a hand with that, just to give you a little bit more freedom to do this stuff that actually is like secrets. I'm being forced to into Monster Hunter Wilds with my friend Faded Song of Mid MVC. Yeah, he's really cool. He's definitely fun to hang with. Although we haven't chatted a ton for the amount of time that I have gotten to, yeah, he's actually really fun to hang with. I'm definitely looking forward to playing with y'all. No, I'll reach out if I need anything. Definitely. I'd be glad to help. The multiplayer with Monster Hunter Wilds, the only things I'll really be yapping on with the rest of the Wilds overall overview from what I got from hopping through it is the multiplayer experience, the menus, which is something that some people were harping on, the performance of the game, and the weapons, which I did go over a little over earlier, and overall analysis as a recap at the end. Yeah, like the multiplayer, the lobbies, like we said, those were pretty good. The thing that they mentioned for playing with your friends that got a little bit confusing was that they introduced 2 new features. I wish I had I actually should go ahead and get out my whiteboard for this. That would be perfect for this if I were to actually draw some of it down while I was talking, since that would lend some permanence, some topical retention from what we're actually yapping about. Let's create a new board. Bring this over to that screen and then add it to our scene here. We're gonna say go to in-game and then add our whiteboard as a window capture. Wait, where is that from? Which scene has the whiteboard on it? Oh, there we go. Copy that over to here. Put it toward the middle. And then far enough down. Okay, great. That'll do the trick. Cut that in, and that down. And that should do it. Yeah, there we go. Let's transition that over with a fade. And then move me a little bit out of the way. We're going to move me down to here. And now you can see all this. So yeah, what I was saying was the topics were 1, our weapons. 2, our multiplayer. And I am definitely handwriting all of this, so my apologies, since some of it I'm trying to write a little bit faster than I should. The menus. 4 was the performance. And then the last point was the overall analysis, or just overall. As far as how the game went in general, we have checked off our weapons, and we're in the middle of the multiplayer. About this, what we have here is basically 3 main points. This is, we're going to say, to repeat that over here, multiplayer. We have, yeah, like I said, 3 main points, or sub-points of that, which is the lobbies, the parties, and then the field is how I'll arrange that. This got a little bit confusing since they introduced 2 new features. And those were, 1, link parties, and then 2, the environment link. Environment link. The thing with that is that to do an environment link, it actually required a link party. And the difference between these two was definitely confusing for some people. They would see one and say, okay, well, what do? Because it wasn't exactly obvious on which of these was what you wanted for playing with your friends. And like I said, the environment link was actually dependent on having a link party. So you could only share your link party, your environment link with people that were link parties. So you had to create this to get your environment link out of it. And the terminology there was just a little bit confusing, but the feature itself was spot on. So while they probably could have chosen something that was a little bit more clear in that regard, I do think that what they did was generally the right thing between the breakdown of the lobbies, the link parties, and the field or the environment link. So to briefly summarize how each of those are, your lobbies, if you've played World, are essentially the same thing as before. Those more or less work out the same way, but they're now 100 players. The link parties are kind of like the world's investigation quests. I think that's what they're called. I do not remember off the top of my head if that's correct. And then the last one there was the environment link. And this one is what's new. The investigation quest, Link Parties, was really good because this was very familiar with what we had already been doing in Monster Hunter World. You'd basically hop over to your quest board to say, hey, what do I have available? Because what you could do in Wilds was you could open up your map, and if you were to press the X button on Xbox controller, then this would take you over to your environment details. Let's say environment details. And what you would get is a rundown, like a timeline of what everything would show up for the entire duration of your quest was. Everything that you would see would actually show up under these details, saying like, oh, hey, I have a Chupacabra from now until 2:30, and then I have a Ray Dow from 2:30 until 5, and you could see here's what's going to come up in the future, here's what I have now, and you can distinguish between the current and the future. And that worked out pretty well, because then you could say, hey, I have these available. Do you want to fight my Chupacabra? Or what do you have available? And they'd say, well, no, I actually have a Ray Dow available right now. Let's hop into mine instead. So you'd send out a invitation from what you have from your Ray Dow, because everyone else has Chupacabras. And you'd say, hey, let me post, and we'll hop into my quest, and then after that, maybe enough time will have passed, and you'll have a Ray Dow that you can post, or whatever you want to do with that. And it felt very familiar to World players with that. But the name was a little bit confusing because that was called Link Parties, and basically what it was is that regardless of which lobby you're in, you can play together. The link parties were actually not dependent on lobby. It was a cross lobby of up to 4 players, so up to 4. And that was your little link party. It would share all the quests that you started with the rest of your link party by default. So you go in and fight a monster, smack it a couple times, it'll start a quest. Like, you come over to start bullying a Chupacabra. Everyone else in your link party will get a quest for it that they can choose to join or not. Even if you're all in 4 different lobbies, the game wouldn't care. It would say, you know what, you're good. You're cleared. We're gonna let you on in. And that was nice. But what got confusing was like, okay, hey guys, I want people to come and fight my thing. I can't see them. Where are they? And that's because when you would start a fight, it would send a quest to everyone in your link party so that they could come and join it. But of course, if you've played Monster Hunter before, when your quest is over, it's over, everyone goes back over to their, back to the hub. So essentially, that's what would happen. Everyone would wind up going back to the to the hub at the end of a hunt in your Link party. And it's like, well, no, I don't want to do that. I just want us to all be out there, continuing to fight the things in my environment. And that's where this new thing called Environment Link came in. And that's what got a little bit confusing, because I think some people expected that Link parties would actually work like how the Environment Link works. With the way that it was communicated in some of the social media, there was just a lot of confusion saying, hey, what is this actually supposed to be? And it was like, hey, what do? What am I supposed to actually choose? And so to set up an environment link, what you would have to do is go into your menu. You would get multiple different options here. We'd go into this second menu here called communication. Let's pull our thing down here so I can communication. Pretty close for us to see that. And then we'd have a bunch of different options over here. And one of those was Link Party. And then there would be a bunch of different options over here above and below that. And what you would have to do is you'd have to select your Link Party option. And that would give you another submenu over here where you could invite people, view who is in the current Link party, leave, etc. But then there was another option over here when you're in a Link party with people that would let you set up your environment link. And a couple of people were like, okay, what's this environment link thing? I don't understand. And that's where you would get this over here. What it did was it would bring everyone from your Link party into your environment when you came over here into your communication menu and started up your environment link, so that everyone would actually see your field. They would see your pop-up camps. So I've got my map over here of all the different areas of wilds. I got my desert. I've got my sand land in the center. I've got the grasslands in the north, and then the sand pile over where Ray Dow would hide. And then our cheeky little cutoff over here that's probably going to lead into more of the map. But I would have a pop-up camp over here, one over here, and then I'd have one over here. And then last pop-up camp I would have is over here. Actually, like up here. And everyone would be able to use my pop-up camps. They would see the ones that I had placed down instead of the ones that they had placed down. And they'd see a whole bunch of signs for where all the other pop-up camps were. And they'd say, hey, what are you doing? Why don't you have a pop-up camp over here? It's like, well, I don't want a pop-up camp over there. These are the ones that I actually want to have. And everyone would be using the ones that I had placed down instead of necessarily the ones that they had placed down. But in addition to that, they would also see all of the same monsters that I would see. So you could have a player come over here and start fighting this monster, while another player was in the same field, came over here and started fighting this one. And you'd all be in the same map at the same time, seeing all the same monsters wherever you wanted to be. And whenever you finish one off, it wouldn't send you back over to your own lobby. You'd still be in the same field after the end of every quest, after the end of every monster. And so it was a lot more unifying because everything just kept going on. It made a persistence to the world instead of this disconnect, reconnect sort of thing like we're used to with Monster Hunter, where you post a quest, everyone hops in, and then it ends and you post another quest. It gave you a unified, continuing field where everyone could actually share in the environment and do all the things you wanted to do. And because that's sort of what the Link party in multiplayer was advertised as with Monster Hunter Wilds, some people were very confused, like, what is this environment link? How do I set it up? Why do I have to do that? And I feel like there was a little bit of explanation that probably could have been done through the menus, and also making this the default would have helped with the multiplayer experience for people that were hopping in saying, oh, okay, this is how I get the people into my world so that we can play together. And it really created this really awesome, unified Monster Hunter experience that I think is going to be very cool for hopping into this game for both new players and old players going forward. It'd be nice if they added an option to default that choice. Absolutely. That's what I've been commenting about recently. The fact that they even have it is astounding. I am super excited about it. I do think they could make it even better by making that the default and then saying, here, let me actually toggle that off so that it isn't the default. So that they can bring people into what you would say is the recommended way for what we have newly available. Although that may throw off some of the older hunters, just because that's how they advertised this particular game, that this is really what they've been pushing, that would probably help out with the overall game experience. That is essentially what they've brought in with the multiplayer, and where I say just a little bit of the terminology could have been improved. Because it's like, okay, Link Party? Environment Link? What is that? Because it's not necessarily obvious to me that I have to create a Link Party and then send a separate environment link invitation to everyone in my Link Party so that we can share the same field map and fight the same things, see the same things in real time, instead of saying, oh, I see this, you see this, why do we see different things? Why do we have different maps, and why do we have different camps? So a little bit with explanations of what they are and what the default is provided probably would have actually made what was already pretty cool and pretty smooth just a little bit smoother, so that you didn't have to spend that time at the beginning of it to figure out what all that meant and how it worked. Some of the people that I was playing with actually never figured this part out. They said, I still don't get it. Tex, you do the work. You hop in and do all the invites, because I just do not understand this. I'm going to leave it up to you. I'd say I probably spent about 5 minutes figuring out each of them, which isn't a ton, but if you're not hopping in and just trying to say, here, I'm going to figure out what everything does the way that they've designed it, this can definitely be a confusion point there. But I think the features that they provided us are actually very exciting and encouraging, and there's going to be a lot that we can do with it. I think they got it right on the nail, but could probably wind up improving it just to take what's already good and make it even better. Those same comments that I mentioned with the multiplayer, with like the terminology, some people made the same comments with like, hey, the menus are confusing. I don't know what's going on. If you've seen the menus in Monster Hunter World, the menus over here felt about the same. I actually didn't need to spend too much time after I dug through each menu to understand where and what was in each menu of the game. I think they gave us like 6 menus, one of which was like your settings. If I make a little gear over here, yeah, that's fine, sure. And then your basic information for hunters, communication, and you had a couple of other options in your map. I didn't actually prepare a screenshot of the Monster Hunter Wilds menus. So I don't have a reference for that. These menus were pretty similar to what people had already seen. And these actually confused a couple of people. But the other part that people really harped on was the radial menu, not necessarily the game menu that you see when you press the start button. The radial menus was the one that some people took a little bit of time trying to relearn, because these were overhauled for Monster Hunter Wilds. These were sufficiently different from what they had already done before. And essentially what they gave us was something where we now had stacked icons inside our radial menu, where we could actually navigate a new set of how we decided to organize our items. Previously, they really only gave us the ability to put them side by side, but they now gave us a additional vertical control, which it was an opt-in, opt-out. If you decided to set one that was just horizontal, then you could play with it the same way as it had been before. And this layout that I'm actually drawing in there is pretty close to the layout that I actually landed on in the end for what I had. I had a stack of healing items, some utility items with like my dung pods and flash pods and whatnot, some support items. I had traps, and then things like ammo and buff cleansers, and then things like demon drug and whatnot. All of those, I was able to pull up this radial menu and say, okay, no, move to the left and move up, and then select this really quick. So I'm not just going left and right through a really long list of things on my radial menu. I was able to say, no, just come over here, pick this. It's like, oh, okay, great. I'm actually able to set this up in a little bit more of an organized layout to say, here's my support items, here's my traps, here's my healing items, and like debuff things for your null berries and your antidotes. Here are my flash pods and dung pods, and then here's my life powder, just so I can get to that and say I don't want to get confused with it and everything else. And then what happens when you're not trying to go into this menu, it'll actually transform this, and it'll take these 4 from this menu, put them over here, and then it'll take the next 3, and it will just sort of like take each of these from your list, and it'll rotate them 90 degrees. So we're going to say like that. Rotate. So that it was actually flipped on its side and put in order. So if you weren't using this XY sort of layout for your menu, then it would give you a layout of it in the same format as what you were used to, where it was just left and right and has each of your items in it. So you could just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 without actually stacking it up vertically, and keep it the same way as it was before. and then your F1, F2, etc. If you wanted to use those, still worked the same way as before. You could select one of these, and then you'd get your items and say, I want to pick 1, 2, 3 from those loadouts. With the controller, same deal. If you were pulling up your radial menu from your D-pad, that also still worked the same way as before. So I'm pulling this up, and I pull up on the D-pad. Then I get a menu with my 4 or like 8 items for whatever I selected. And then I could say, go ahead and pick this one up in the upper right corner and use that instead of one of the other ones. So that actually still worked the same way as before. But having this new loadout over here for the radial menu confused a couple of people. They didn't sit down and take a look at it and say, okay, how can I use this to my advantage with the new organizational capacities that we have? I can definitely see a lot of potential for this, but it threw a couple of people off and said, hey, I don't understand what's going on. Why am I seeing this and then this and then this, the first item, second item, third item, fourth item, fifth item, sixth item going over, sort of like jumping in a weird sort of sideways reading order? Because if you take that and just rotate the whole thing, then it really is just going in reading order. But that was very confusing, partially because of the layout. And some people never really picked up on that map, not the map, the layout that they did with their radial menus. But there's definitely a lot of potential with that. If you take just a little bit to sit down and look at what's happening with that, it can turn out to an overall advantage for you if you're ready to sit down and really turn it into something of your own. I had to spend a little bit of time working with it to say, here's where I want to put everything. And what I actually landed on turned out to be something very similar to what their default was, because there was a whole bunch of utility items over here for like setting up new pop-up camps, your binoculars, and a bunch of other of the non-usable or non-limited things. They were just part of the game in general. And then like your healing items, I added a couple of things to that. Your demon drugs, your dung pods, and stuff like that. Mine actually wound up to be like a slightly modified default from what they had. So that was encouraging to see that they actually had something that played out pretty nicely. You might add one or two things, then remove a couple of things. But it feels pretty good. The recommended defaults, if they give us a nice way to introduce us to this new radial menu, could actually become an overall boon for players that are hopping into Monster Hunter, whether that be for the first time or long-time returning players to the game. Let's see if I can actually remove that without having to do an awkward erase. There we go. That took a little bit to get used to, but I really didn't spend any more than maybe 20-30 minutes to myself. But if you weren't trying to sit down and actually take a look at it and you were just assuming that this worked the same way as the previous games, a couple of people got a little bit confused with that for sure. The performance of the game wasn't too bad. Our performance. I was generally pretty happy with this. If you look down below in my specs in the details, specs below. Hello, Lou. Whoops. Good evening. How are Lou? The performance of Wilds wasn't too bad. I was playing 4K at approximately 60 FPS with slightly dated Lou and Toast. Hello. Oops. I turned my thing again. With some slightly... We are yapping for a little bit about the Monster Hunter Wilds beta before hopping into Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. We're almost done yapping about it. I have a lot of impressions about overall how the beta went and the things that we saw about it. And overall, I would say it was a pretty positive outlook. We yapped a little bit about the weapons, about the multiplayer experience in the menus. And one of the other things that was talked about a lot was the performance of the beta, which we're actually deep diving into right now. But overall, the weapons felt great. The multiplayer provided a lot of new features for us that I'm really excited about. And while they could be improved, yeah. And there's a little bit of work to do in menus. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun when we play together. Gotta go, sadly, food? Hey, enjoy the noms. I hope that y'all have a wonderful evening. I am glad to see ya. The schedules have not overlapped well recently, and I was doing a little bit of research over the weekend, which definitely kept me occupied. Whew. No one sees that. No one sees that. Definitely didn't spend too much time in there. Words. I lost my train of thought entirely. Whoops. My model is in the way. Move you over here. There we go. That's better. But yeah, with the performance, I have slightly outdated hardware, but I was still able to run 4K at approximately 60 frames per second on average for the beta. Some people thought they probably wouldn't be able to play when they were playing at reasonable resolutions, like pulling down from a 4K over to either a 1440p or a 1080p, according to the specs of their GPU and CPU. They were definitely able to get much higher FPS for the game, pretty much as you would expect, whether that be in the 45, 60, or 90, or above ranges. Whether that be on medium settings, low, or high. Of course, depending on whether they had higher specs or lower specs for the machine that they had at the time, depending on as well how old it was and what their monitor's resolution was. They definitely weren't running 4K at 120 FPS with fairly low specs from 5 or 6 years ago, but setting that accordingly, since this was borderless windowed. Borderless window. That, taking care of that definitely helped with their performance if they were to bring the resolution of the monitor that they were running it on down, since we didn't have an actual full screen to do that with. My hope is that we'll see a proper full screen so that we can do a better downgrading of resolution so that you can render at the appropriate res instead of whatever the game was trying to render at on your borderless window, since that didn't really help with the performance. If you were to turn this down to a 1080p but still be running on a 4K monitor, all that did was really make it a little bit blurrier and slightly reduced the cost. But actually doing a real full screen with a lower resolution or changing the monitor resolution for it definitely helped with getting those FPS numbers for performance in the game. I think that should be overall not as much of an issue as what I was expecting, but my fingers are crossed that that does go over well at large once it comes out on release, especially if they give us a proper full screen option. But yeah, again, with the overall, I was pretty encouraged by what I saw with the weapon feel, the multiplayer that they had, the new features that they gave us with the menus, and how the game actually ran. It overall felt great. The environment was very fluid, and I didn't have to spend too much time in any one of these places to actually just hop into the game and say, okay, I understand how to do the things now. I can just hop in and enjoy. That was a pretty fun experience. I am very much looking forward to playing this with all of the friendos as soon as this goes live. And I would have to say this is definitely going to be an overall hit. Just in general, from what they gave us, that's just going to be a lot of fun. It didn't feel like a lot of frustration. I'm definitely looking forward to just hopping in to Hunts with Friends, do an environment link, and say, here, let's go around and see what we can find and just diddle around and have some fun together. That's going to be a very, very enjoyable experience. And I saw that same sort of sentiment with others that were hopping into the game for the first time, having never played Monster Hunter, or being longtime Monster Hunters that knew their stuff. So that's overall going to be pretty nice. Because some people hopped into Monster Hunter for the first time with the Wilds beta, and some were saying, hey, I've played since Monster Hunter 2, I've played all the titles and done all the monsters from each and every single one of them. Let me show you how it's done. And it got more or less the same reception from my friends all across the board with that. So I'm so looking forward to that. That's just going to be a great experience. Like I said, it's not all perfect. The performance, especially if they give us full screen, could definitely become even better. The menus, my fingers are crossed that they give a nice example on what it is and how to use it to your advantage. The multiplayer could be improved by making the environment link actually default. And then the weapons I just loved. I eventually landed on dual blades and bow as probably what I'm going to use when the game launches. But in spite of that, I didn't feel like I really had a favorite. They just all felt really good. I didn't really find or land on one over another as being necessarily better or say like my style, just because how generally good they all felt. I'm going to wind up actually making every single weapon in the game just because, they were good. I'll be doing an all equipment run essentially when I hop into the game. I'll make every insect glaive, every great sword, long sword, heavy bowgun, light bowgun, armor, for every monster that I encounter as I go. So it'll be a little bit of a slower grind. But they're just all really enjoyable, really fun, which is going to give me more than enough time to try them all out as we go. I so want to play this with everyone just because of how it came out. It was definitely a beta. They were testing things, and we definitely found things like occasional oddities with rendering or with server stuff, but it was honestly few and far between. I think it definitely accomplished its purpose as a beta, and it's going to be a ton of fun when it actually releases for us outside of the beta in the future. Where is the overlay for that? Yeah, there we go. Let's transition that back out and see what's actually behind me. Nothing is behind me, which means I need to hide that for a minute while I actually turn things on, because yeah, that's going to show personal information in a second here. But oh goodness, I'm really excited to play that with y'all. I want to hop into hunts with you. I think it's just going to be a ton of fun to do the multiplayer with that. Just because everything feels good. It's not perfect, but oh goodness, I would not be telling the truth if I said it isn't pretty darn close. I think this is the right button that I want. Yeah, this is the button that I want. Okay. Got that in place. Now I just need to move me out of the way. I think I wanted to be over here. Yeah. And now we can transition things. And we've got the game music back. Oh, that was a very abrupt pause. But okay, there we go. With that, let's switch this on over to the right input and hop on into the Legend of Zelda. We're almost there at the end. We've gotten really, really, really far into this game, and I think we can actually finish this. We've done just about everything except for the last zone, and then the final act of the game. These are definitely predictions, but it's just gonna wind up being how it goes. That's the Zelda games for ya. Sounded like some pretty high praise for Wilds. Looking forward to its release. Did you pre-order already? Yeah. I definitely am about to pre-order. I need to hop into my Humble Bundle there are some exciting things from the pre-release packs that I definitely want to get because they look pretty, and I have been baited. Since there's the discount that you get on Humble Bundle for anything that you buy from there, for the 20% off if you have the Humble Choice, plus stacked with any other discounts, which just makes it a little bit nicer on the wallet. Some budgetary things recently. Like I said, I've been cooking. I haven't been live, but I've still been doing a good bit of content creation work, even when I've been offline and not live. Has been eating a little bit into the budgets for some of the things that I haven't gotten to show off yet, but are coming up. Because this is absolutely just an enjoyable hobby. But it's eating in the wallet. So I haven't just thrown the money on it down yet, but I had the money set aside, and that's actually coming out this month. So it is actually time for me to do the pre-order of the game. Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a perfect game. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be generally pretty good. Even if it doesn't make Game of the Year, I would expect it to be pretty close. So the discount was there? Yeah. The Humble Bundle 20% off that you get if you have the Humble Choice, with that stacking with other things, just definitely makes it a pretty sweet deal. I would not be surprised if this is a good contender for Game of the Year for 2025. Just based on what we've seen and how smooth they've made it for a new and returning player experience. Especially if they can dial in on some of the things were just a little bit confusing for returning players, and some things that would be confusing for new players, and clarify that. That'll definitely do the trick to bring it from a generally pretty good game to what's definitely a AAA game. I'm still looking forward to that. Oh, hello there, guard. Well met, Princess Zelda. By the order of the king, I'm on a mission to investigate areas with rifts. Just a little deeper in the foreign wetlands. Forbidding place. Ooh. Electric monsters, strange creatures who called me a bumpkin. Strange creatures who called you a bumpkin? Hold on just a second. That sounds familiar. We need to go somewhere based on that. Up here? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. If he said strange creatures that call us a bumpkin, that means this thing that we went to a while back is actually something that we're interested in. This is gonna have what we thought it would have quite a while ago, and it'll finally be active again. Oh, where is it at? Where is it at? It's right inside here. Why is that unavailable? That's definitely where we thought that guy that we ran into before would be. If they're talking about bumpkin and all. Oops. Oops. That's unfortunate. I did not mean to fall that far. But yeah, if you had different impressions on some of the stuff from the Wilds beta that we saw, I'm definitely curious to hear what your impressions were about the game, whether that's from just a couple of minutes of being in it, or even more than I put into it. Either way with that, because I'm generally pretty optimistic about this stuff. They're not, probably because I come from a game development background. They're definitely not going to be perfect. I don't think I've ever seen a game that actually was perfect. But seeing this kind of stuff is pretty cool. Kiddo liked it and it's not Roblox. So I'm in. I want something to play with her. Yeah, I hear ya. That should be a pretty fun experience outside of like Phasmophobia, Minecraft, or Roblox. To say here, let's just hang out, have a little bit of fun with the family without going into. Roblox can be kind of weird sometimes. Roblox can definitely be kind of weird sometimes. Oh, you know what I didn't do before switching over to the game? I may have forgotten to move my model control over to the correct monitor so that I actually could relocate where that renders on screen. Because I can see that I'm in the way. There we go. And category. Yeah, good catch. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. There we go. That's better. And now we can remove the yap and fix the title. Yeah, there we go. I should probably set like reminders to do that kind of stuff, because I know that I'm going to forget. There we go. Now the title is fixed, now the category is fixed, and I can actually relocate the model on screen. I wonder. We've got the mini-map down here, but where were we before? I think this right here, just slightly overlapping, is probably fine. Thought that's what you're going to say over the model. Yeah. I it didn't place the model in the correct place, and I actually completely forgot about the category. But yeah. Ooh. So now we're actually back in the right place. I swear, this has been a really cute game. This is something that I would give to my young cousins. Phasmo is something I need to put a bit more time into. Another 8 or 9 days left on the Blood Moon Halloween event. The event has been interesting, considering it's a community event instead of an individual event like the previous ones have been. I think it could turn out overall good for the game, but it feels a little bit weird since we're used to the events being individual. So it's a bit of a surprise. It's like, hey, why can't I complete this on my own now? But it does introduce some nice things, like live updates to events, instead of having to download a patch to get the fix for the events. It gives us some real-time fixes for things that we couldn't actually get before. I think it's overall going to be good, but it's going to feel weird for a while, just because we're not used to it. Yeah, a bit of a bummer. I think they're going to give us a reason to pull past people in and play more than we'd have to otherwise. I could definitely see that, since it's a way to encourage engagement. The big thing about like actually being able to modify the details of the event on the fly is pretty big. Like we were commenting on in some of the chats, the fact that we had only gotten to 1.84% after 2 days out of an event that only lasts for 2 weeks felt like we're never going to finish the event. But they were actually able to change the progress amount instantly without an update, because it was now a live event. And that was one of the things that I noted out of the update notes. Is like, oh, that's interesting. They're probably going to be able to do something like this. And they actually did. They took the event and modified the requirements to finish the event in real time. Should I be over here? Let's try that. See if that works out. But you're actually able to, they were actually able to change that in real time. And that was really, really neat, because like, okay, well, this doesn't have to be unaccomplishable. They don't have to accidentally overshoot or undershoot and say, well, we're committed because we've already sent the update to people. By making it an online event, it gives us some more flexibility for balancing this stuff on the fly, to say, hey, yeah, it's not reasonable for you have to do a 75 X match just to finish the event or something. They can make it not centered on the content creators, but instead focused on what the gamers that are playing it the most actually do, or send it back and forth for different types of events. That is a pretty interesting feature that we haven't really seen the full potential of yet, from what they did with the new event. As weird as it feels, it definitely feels weird being a community event when all the past ones that we've done were actually these individual events where you would have to hop in and complete it yourself. Even if you did it with other players, you'd still have to actually be in there and do the matches. It's going to feel a little bit of a difference for us for a while. But I think it gives us the potential to say, hey, let's hop into the event and let's just have some fun with it. Instead of saying, hey, I need to play and grind nonstop just to finish this. Because they're probably going to balance it so that the community can actually finish these things. Or even make them not community events in the future, but still have the online update potential. And yes, you Deku actually are pretty cute. There's a lot of potential that we just probably haven't really seen yet out of what they've changed. The fact that they're able to do the community things, but also just update it in real time without pushing out another patch. So there's a lot that they could do with the game that we're going to have to wait and see to find out what the development studio actually winds up doing with it. Because just because they can doesn't mean that they will. And studios definitely learn things the hard way more often than not. So part of it's going to depend on what they actually wind up doing with it, as opposed to what they could do with it. Unfortunately. So I'm remaining pretty hopeful, but that doesn't guarantee that it's going to turn out well. Ooh. Ooh. That's going to hurt. Wait, why am I just using an army on them when I could use a one-man army on them instead? Here we go. That's better. Lands of the Goddess. Mend the rifts in the regions connected with it into the three goddesses who left the prime energy. Doing so should thwart the enemy's plans. The remaining rift is located in the Faran wetlands. Oh! I just remembered. We're almost there. We're not quite there yet. But one of the stream announcements that I wanted to share is, although the Discord isn't fully set up yet, we're actually on the way to having a working Discord with proper updates for the live notices or social media posts for saying, hey, here's some of the new software they're working on, or hey, the stream is live. I actually got the stream live ping from my Discord when I went live. It's like, wait, what's that? Oh, I forgot I set that up. But yeah, the Discord is technically available, although I'm not pushing it hard yet because it's not fully there. There's still a few more things I want to do with it. But I actually do have the live notifications finally set up now. That's just one of the many things that I've been cooking with for trying to sort out for the channel overall. We're gonna have some more exciting things for that in the future, for sure. Since Technical Corner, we've definitely got some technical things like software and whatnot that's going to be available eventually. Not having set goals makes me feel less motivated to play rounds. Yeah, I hear that. Hopefully they pull it off in a way where it feels like we don't have to play a ton of rounds to complete it, but rather they give us interesting enough content where we'll want to play a few without being forced to play a ton. That's certainly my hope with the thing. That it'll be more of a casual capability while still being able to give us those options to say, like, hey, you have to personally play 6 matches on Nightmare in Blood Moon of Willow to contribute to this goal, where they could potentially mix and match. Or they could say, come into the Blood Moon and take a picture of each one of these to be eligible, and then also contribute to the community goal where it's pretty much guaranteed you're going to get it anyways, as long as you hopped in and played during the event. So you don't get like 90% of the way there and don't actually get your rewards. Where I know a couple of us definitely have in the past, where we got so close, but not quite enough to actually get the event rewards. My fingers are crossed that they're able to pull that off, so that you don't get gypped from not having quite enough time to play as much as others. I'm hoping that does turn out better than worse, but it's really going to depend on them utilizing it to the best potential that it's actually capable of. In the Discord, Ayo. I'm definitely hoping to put some nice content out there before too long. I've realized that I have an awkward target audience, and had to get used to what the kind of content I create actually is. Because you're always hearing me talk about text tips and whatnot. As the name implies, I get very technical with all these things really quickly. I can't not. It's definitely my field and where I specialize in. So, not a top tier yapper by any means, but I definitely go into the technical details on all the things. So I've realized a lot of the stuff that I put out and like putting out is technical tips for gamers, musicians, content creators, etc. Whether that be something to either make your gameplay experience just a little bit more smooth, show you something that is a little bit niche or less well known that it might have been available to you but just never really found out about before because it wasn't a super highlighted feature. Some neat little speedrunning type things or technical details or capabilities for titles that we've been enjoying, or ways to use software for whether that's OBS or music production or otherwise that why are you in the ground? Get out of the ground. Ah, you plucked me. What are you going to tell me? Ways to level up music production, content creation, or otherwise for things that tend to be a little bit confusing or a little bit more misunderstood, to say, hey, here's how this actually works. Here's how you can use it to your advantage. It took me a while to realize, hey, yeah, I like getting technical. That's the kind of stuff that I have technical information about and what I get into. So we'll probably see, while not on the same level as the long-term big Capcom creators, the technical details of each of the weapons, we're definitely going to be getting into some of the softer technical details of how to make Monster Hunter Wilds a little bit more enjoyable, or tips and tricks with Phasma, or anything like that in general, because I just find that stuff kind of fun. And of course, there's the musical production with the games, and hopping into the sound design and all that. But in spite of all the technical details, this is definitely still a or rather, I should say, I endeavor to keep this a say-so or family-friendly content as far as what I myself produce. There are some titles that sometimes I'll turn on. It's like, that's weird content. Like, some people you may not want to be watching, like Overwatch or other first-person shooters. But as far as what I add to the picture on top of that, it's usually going to be right up that family-friendly or say-so type content because I'm very used to that, and that's just the content I tend to prefer to consume and be involved in myself. And that's pretty much going to stay that way, partially from habit and partially from otherwise. Which actually kind of matches with what we're playing right now, since we're in Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. This is very much the family-friendly PG-13 type stuff, so long as you're okay with the very fantasy content of the Zelda series. This one has been super cute and wholesome, I swear. I absolutely love it. Sometimes it's been too wholesome. Mario and Luigi Brothership seems like it could be pretty wholesome. I haven't heard of that one yet. But the stuff in that vein tends to be that way. That one sounds like it could be pretty fun. I'm gonna have to take a note of that and check it out because that sounds kind of up my alley. What are you doing here? Oh, that's a lot. Uh-oh. 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 Oh no. You are up there. It comes out on the 7th of November, I presume. I missed the news for that Mario game. I must be out of it, since I usually catch that kind of news. That sounds really neat. One of the first video games that I had played, I went around and started hitting older things after that, but we bought one of the newer consoles when I was old enough to give my parents trouble, that they didn't want to be chasing after me. They grabbed a Nintendo 64 right when it came out, and grabbed Super Mario 64 when that came out, and put us in front of the television to touch that instead of having us run around into the woods and get lost on the 10-16 acres of woodlands that we owned, since they would probably never find me again. Hi, I was a troublemaker. But to mitigate that, they put us down in front of the Super Mario 64. Ooh, we can knock them off the edge. So I've thoroughly enjoyed the Mario games ever since then. I fell. Ever since then. So I'm surprised that I actually missed the news on that one. That one sounds like it's going to be a blast. I'm gonna have to, let's see. Hey Siri, remind me at 11, Mario and Luigi Brothership. There we go. Taking advantage of Siri for all it's worth. It's an RPG, so I hope it's a good one. My fingers are crossed. That sounds exciting. Oh wow. That's a very good summon. Nehehehe. What was the... yeah, like that. Oh, what was the way to place? Oh, like that. There we go. That's what you want to do. That makes sense. I follow. My fingers are crossed. I've loved the Mario RPGs since they're pretty lighthearted in their not necessarily the story, but the media design from the music to the art. Although often the story as well, aside from the overarching plot that they tend to stick with. Hey, Peach has been taken away. Go bring her back because you want to reunite the family and friends. It's not good for them to be gone. If you like the Mario and Luigi games, you'll probably like this one. I definitely have my fingers crossed. The fact that they have another Mario title sounds like this is for the Switch since they haven't announced their next console yet. Just generally sounds pretty exciting. Okay, this is a good summon. I'm glad that we got this earlier. Oh, where's our level 2? Our level 2 should be somewhere up here. Okay, I missed it. This one. Mothula level 2. That's what we wanted. What are you doing? Nom 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 nom. Spiderweb sweets? Why are they over here? The last title that they put out. What was the last Mario game that I played? It was after Odyssey. I've got two different ones from here. Not Smash. Mario and Luigi. There was the 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Although that was they brought it back with the DLC. That one was pretty fun, and I think the other one was on my other Switch. So I don't actually have that one around anymore. The other Mario and Luigi games were previously all portable games, going back to the Game Boy Advance and continuing onto DS. Since there's no DS anymore, this is the first one to come out on a console other than a re-release. Ooh, that's interesting. That sounds like it's going to be pretty fun based on how they've designed those previously. I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna have to try it out. Check it out and maybe do a playthrough on here with that one. Maybe hopping into a couple of the speedrun tactics. Since that tends to be up my alley. I'm actually still waiting to finish Tears of the Kingdom because I accidentally got spoiled on a major plot point that I'm trying to forget about. So that might give me some time to bide until I forget the rest of the Tears of the Kingdom and can go through and finish that plot. Everyone is eating spiderweb cotton candy. What? I was worried that a big patch of dark thorns showed up at the sweet spot. The great spider came out and started spinning its webs. Sweet, yummy goodness. Oh no. Oh no. No, don't say that again. They're eating spider webs. I'm surprised they can talk. Their mouth is so sticky. Zelda, please don't try that stuff. I don't want to try that stuff. I am concerned. I want cotton candy, but it's so much trouble to get a hold of. I wish some of the dark thorns were growing closer by. No, no. Those dark thorns are not good. Those dark thorns are bad. I was the first grub to eat cotton candy. Really? I kicked off the trend. That's not a good trend. Don't eat spider webs. Say, does a tree have a membership for the sweet spot? What? No. Who told you that? That's ridiculous. I'm actually laughing. That's a little suspicious how you're trying to deny it. Oops. The great spider came out of the dark thorns that have been covering the rest of the land that we've been trying to get rid of this entire time. Concern. Much concern. Where do I file my concern at here? Business Scrub Smoothie Shop. 3-second walk. You're close. Okay, here we go. Have you had something from the shop? What do you mean? I'm talking about a smoothie, so fresh. Perfect for a hot day. Meanwhile, everyone else is on the cotton candy bandwagon. I don't care how uncool it makes me. I'll never stop buying smoothies. Good, because this didn't come from the Great Spider. I am concerned about the Great Spider. Oh, okay. Mothra is not as good at taking care of those. That's scary. Where do we have to go to finish up this quest here? Only customer we've had all day. Aw, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, buddy. We need to find the lead here. We got... Oh, this is where we have to... Okay. We can now enter this place. Hello there. What's up here? Is this the entrance? There's a rift inside this structure. You wait here, I'll go and see if I can make an entrance. Let me guess, no. Yes, you can make an entrance, but you can't get in there if the door is shut. Hey you, what are you standing there for? We're not letting you into the sweet spot. This is a sweet spot. Okay, the sweet spot. Yeah, look at that bank expression. The telltale sign of a bumpkin. Oh, bumpkin from earlier. First time in the city, huh? All right. Let us tell you what's what. The Sweet Spot is a place that serves all-you-can-eat treats, but it's members only. That's right, and if you want to be a member, you need a membership card, but they're all spoken for. Bad luck for you. You got that? No card, no going in, so get scramming. Well, we've been kicked out. But the rift is right there. I guess we'll have to find one of those membership cards, but they like the rift. They actually don't want the rift gone. This is, less than good. So the sound of a Trip-It tune that makes it rain. I figured it all by myself. Except, well, I guess you helped. Okay. We want to get into the sweet spot. Heart Lake? Oh, I see. Well, we can get over there really quickly because, well, we saved a teleport to it earlier. So let's warp on over. Oh, we gotta go there and then over to the other side and bring them over to the Heart Lake and then take care of the rift that's inside Heart Lake. That's what's going on. I see. That's what they're doing here. Ah! We said we'd meet right here, but I've been waiting and you're not here. Did you stop liking me? Poor guy. Just back away slowly. Should we try asking about the membership card? I've never heard sounds like that before. What? I don't want to talk about that. I'm kind of going through something. I can create an entrance here. Step back. Let's take care of the rift because we're gonna have to sooner or later to actually do this spot. Hey, what are you doing? What's with that hole? You don't think maybe they could be in there? I don't have to ask. I can feel it in my leafies. Out of the way. I can feel them waiting. I'll be there soon. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We better get in there, he says. Let's turn and go the opposite direction for just a little bit here. Nothing beats fresh spun cotton candy. Nom nom nom. It's not fair you've got dark thorns growing where you live? You get all the cotton candy you want. You lucked out. What? That's what I thought too. So it's kind of inconvenient that most of my home is gone. But unlimited webs. Unlimited cotton candy. I guess. You even have a membership spot. Totally got it made. But home. I would really like to have my home back. Yeah, I agree. Nobody's listening to me. Membership card? Yeah, I have one, but we can talk about that later. I bet that this is going to be where we actually wind up getting it. Well, no, neither of them are going to give us to us. And we have to do both of those. And then we'll eventually get it after following an extra step after both of those. And that's just how it goes. Well, I guess we have to take care of this in due process. Round 1. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, and then following up with the 4th step. 1, 2, 3. A 4th one. One of these 4 is going to be the bonus that we'll have to deal with even outside of the main. So 1, 2, and then probably 3 or 3, and then coming over here and dealing with the main one. That's doable. So here we go, due process. Time to hop in and help the poor guy that ran in there out. I can sense my friends in here. They're trapped. In 5 areas to be exact. If we rescue them, we can finish this rift. Is this the guy that just ran in there? Yep. He's stuck. He ran in. And got stuck. Whew. The freezing of that is actually kinda difficult. Wait, how are you getting up like that? Do I need to... Yeah, I need to stairway my way up a little bit. switch over to this. Ow. Ow. That hurt a little bit. Okay, that's one of 5. Switch back over to our cloud. Can we reduce the height? Yeah, there we go. Ah. I didn't mean to jump down that far. Oh well. Okay. Yeah. Oops. We've still got the trick for how to place these just right for oops. Oh no. You didn't see that, right? Yeah. Yeah, that definitely didn't didn't happen. Nope, not at all. Yeah, nothing happened. I just said we've got the spacing for setting these just the way that we want them. And that was it. Everything was just perfect. Uh-huh. Okay, another 3. And the rest are gonna be off to the left? No, there's one down here too. Oh, There we go. That does the trick for that. The positioning on that is a little bit interesting. You gotta touch it and then turn around to start climbing. It works though. It works. Okay. Oh, hey, there's another one in here. Maybe we will be able to get the thing. We're missing... Oh! I see. Dive. Okay. Okay. I see what to do here. Come back over to our bombfish. Place this, go like this, and tap it. And now when it goes off, we're set. Go up, and then go off to the side, refill our air, and we're good. There we go. I can probably move this back over here again. Yeah, just like that. That's better. Hehehehe. Boom. I appreciate that. Oh, that was all of them. We don't have to go the rest of the way to get out. I wonder if I wound up missing anything by picking up the rest of the friends so soon. That's a curious question. Toward 100% completion. Friends shared some of their power with me. Ooh, we're getting really close to level 10. I hope it doesn't debate us again, like it did earlier, where we got 1 pixel away from the next level. That was really unfortunate. I got baited so hard with that. Okay, let's see. Where am I? Now they're here. This thorn started spreading and then, I don't know what happened after that. Well. What's wrong? Oh. Oh. I see. Their theme is all about sugar and sweet. That's cute. Let's see, can we get a membership card? And as we expected, they're gonna send us over to the southeast. Oh. We're gonna get rid of the thing and then they're gonna keep the membership card because they no longer have access to infinite webs. So we'll have to look elsewhere. Here we go. Round 2 of not getting a membership card. Does anybody have a Blockbuster membership card for me? Does anybody have from Blockbuster membership card? Let me in! Let me in! I wonder, do you still have your Blockbuster membership card? Definitely spent a lot of time, many repeat visits over there. With the, all the rentals, honestly. All the rentals. Did you tend to go over to your local Blockbuster much? Or is that just not really something that you had an interest in doing? Like, I know some things just don't wind up really being each individual person's, you know, thing. And I'm curious if that was also true of Blockbuster cards for ya. Or if you've introduced your family or friends to it after the fact, for some of them they were never aware of Blockbuster, telling them about it or showing off your Blockbuster card to them, saying, hey, back in the good old days. I am curious. Ow. That hurt. Oh, that really hurt. I apparently need to recover some of my health. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the Blockbuster or similar, since some of us had alternatives in our area from similar businesses. From your area over in the chat. And don't notice me just being eaten up by the Deku. That definitely didn't happen. Oh, this one is armored. Interesting. Oh, if I used one of the others, they might have gotten through that a little bit faster. I see. I perceive. That fire scares me. That fire feels dangerous. There we go. Hehehe. So there's gonna be one side here and then one off to the right past the fire. It's just how it's gonna wind up being. If I spider here, then I can get past these guys. Skip the 1 rupee. Oh, I should, bomb. Good. What's over here? Huh? Curious. What? So I can't send bombs upwards. And it's too narrow. So I'll have to go this way. And then come down. Okay. That is a-okay. Let's... just let you do your business. There we go. More Minesweeper. And done. Okay, so that's 4 of 5, and one more. Man, did you ever play the Minesweeper that they had on the built-ins for whether it was Windows or on sometimes like with the Mac or other old like browser games that were popular for a while, etc. At this point, yeah, I'm not dating myself, but yeah, I recently got back into Minesweeper for a really weird reason. Well, we've found all of my friends in this area. Now we can mend this rift. Oh no, I forgot to go down to the south. Whoops. During a business meeting with my boss, he was asking, so, Tex. And of course he didn't say Tex, he said my name, but yeah, of course, Tex is definitely my legal name. He said, Tex, how close are we to actual completion on this milestone for the project as a whole? And hey, we made it to level 10. I had to give him an analogy for how close we were. Ooh, a lot of things were reduced in cost. Nice. An analogy for how close we were to completion. What I wound up doing was comparing our progress of what we had implemented on our piece of software that we've been developing for our customer to a game of Minesweeper. Essentially, I was saying, hey, we've got all of these features that we expected to need to make implemented, but that doesn't actually tell me how close we are to completion. I don't have a clear answer for you yet on how much of it is actually done or how close we are. And the reason is we need to actually step through and iterate over everything that actually exists to be able to say how close we really are. And that's where the analogy to Minesweeper comes in. It was interesting because it was saying, okay, hey, how is this big project that you've been working on? And how much of it is actually complete? And how that related to Minesweeper was honestly kind of curious. I'm gonna transition this for just a minute here. Since a brief curiosity, all of the blocks in the game started getting me thinking about this. Our development project being kind of like a game of Minesweeper was that we're hopping through all of... You've got your map here, right? A bunch of rows and columns with each of these squares having a question mark of what might actually be inside it. And then a number of how many mines are next to each of these squares that you reveal. And if I say it like this, then we'll actually update each of these. And it says, okay, there's 2 mines next to these, 1 mine next to each of these, and the rest have nothing in it. And how that relates to the project completion is essentially we're saying, hey, we actually don't know how much of this project is complete until we've filled out the rest of our board with saying, okay, there's a mine here, there's a mine here, there's a mine here, and to tell you everything that exists, we need to explore this entire board to say, hey, we found one over here. Hey, we found one over here. Iterate through all the features of our project to be able to say we know without a doubt that once we have our content management in place and our content consumption in place and our sales in place, and then the automated processes, until each of these are actually done on the app, you might not actually know how much completion we have on the feature set for the project as a whole until we've stepped through each and every one of them on each of these rows and columns to say, hey, what we just built, we've reiterated over everything in here to say, here's what it's actually going to affect. Here's all the affected features that came up in the process of making these tweaks to the app. And we're probably 3 or 4 days away from actually finishing off the rest of the project if we have full work hours per developer on the project in order to get that all squared away. We're at 94% completion. If you haven't actually done a full iteration of your map, kind of like Minesweeper, it's a little bit hard to say for certain, here's what you have left, because you don't have a roadmap of what all actually wound up really getting affected, really getting changed. The mines from our Echoes of Wisdom actually reminded me of that interesting little analogy that I wound up giving to my boss, and that unintentionally got me back into Minesweeper again for a little kick that I've been on for a bit here. Do y'all have any things like that with, whether it be like getting back into MapleStory or Minesweeper in my case, or other things like that that y'all haven't touched in a while, but you're getting back into as another recent thing that you've picked up? I'm definitely curious to hear if you've picked up some either old habits or old interests again in revisiting some of those things that we haven't touched in a while. And hey, the Deku say, no more thorns. But that means no more webs. You got rid of it? My home is back to normal. What a relief. What? What? You made the thorns go away? They're not happy with us. Monster. Where will we get our webs? I wanted more. You're horrible for fixing the home. There's only one thing to do. We're getting captured and sent to prison for clearing up the rift. Now we're a crook, plain and simple. And Deku scrubs don't let crooks loose. We're stuck in another cell. Stuck in the clink until we show our sorry. Have a good long think about what we've done. Oh, one last thing. I had to confiscate all your belongings. But I feel bad leaving you with nothing, so take this. They gave us a stick. They gave us a stick. It's sticky.
Beady.
That doohickey of yours would make a perfect cotton candy stick. No! Don't put cotton candy on that! I'm starving and don't have time to stand around talking to crooks. The cotton candy's calling my name. No. Don't make a cotton candy stick out of that. Please don't make a cotton candy stick out of that. I do not want spider webs. I do not want spider webs on my staff. The Echo staff does not need spider webs on it. Especially sweet and sticky spider webs. Ugh. No cotton candy, please. Huh. Let's see, oh. Our menu over here is actually reduced at the moment. Sure. We can send, try around. We can't summon anything right now. What's this? This is the key. They dropped the key. They dropped the key. Nice. Can I aim it properly? I can, but I can't get it that way. What do we have here? More stuff below, more stuff above. Oh, I wanted to grab a thingy. Yeah, there we go. That's better. And move this. There we go. Now we're talking. Waiting. I was curious about when we would use this. Now we're hopping. Turn the other way. Everything's gonna be okay. Oh. That was close. Okay. Oh. They're looking every direction. Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay. I moved for too long. Don't try that again. They didn't take the key away. Well, we're absolutely trying that again. Here we go. I need to move this over here. There we go, that's better. Let me just set these lurks. There we go. That's better. And then put that in the background. Nope, don't see us. You don't see me. Haha, you don't see me. Okay, good. It's a little bit faster. Uh-oh. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. For free. What's their timing? 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. What? Huh? Huh? What? How'd he see me? Okay, here we go. Oop. Mistakes were made. That's what we should do over there. That saves a bit of time. Hehehe. I appreciate this. What? You can jump? No, you can't. You don't see me, you don't see me, you don't see me, you don't see me. Go the other way. Pretend I don't exist. Oh, man. Place that. Jump into here. Oh no. I messed up. I messed up. Man, I don't have any of my equipment. Keep going. Okay. I want that rupee. What if I... Yeah, there we go. Let go of this. No, let go of this. Wait for them to turn. Okay, there we go. Got it. Oh man. That was rough. We can't get in through there. Oh. Can't bring that into here. But does this fit? No. Yes, it does fit. If we combine that, I think, yeah, we can get up. Okay, cool. That's open now. Even though it's blocked, it is open. So it'll be open for later, too. Nice, nice. And, oh. That's gonna lead to a heart later. Can we get to the heart yet? I wonder. Let's see if we can't line things up. And get to it a little bit ahead of time. Okay, we need one more. Up, 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 up. How will we get up the last little bit of distance? Ah. If we locate this here instead, we get... There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got it. Totally worth it. And then pull this around. Actually, I can't use that one anyway, because it won't fit through. But I can use that one. I'm gonna need this to get that. Oops. I need to reorganize that. Here we go. Now I can bring this back with me. Please don't break. It broke. I see. I think I can do it this way. Instead, drop this on the half. And now bring this at my normal height, so I'm not gonna break it when I drop it. Yeah. And then set this up. And we're up. There we go. Oh no. Yum, yum, yum. So sweet and gluey. That's the Deku Scrub who took the Tri-Rod. They're using it as to eating cotton candy. That's not a cotton candy stick. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Please stop using my, my staff as a cotton candy stick. That rod's special. It's not for food. Tell him to give it back. They're not gonna give it back. Oh no. Ugh. Ugh. The Tri-Rod is sticky from cotton candy. That thing wasn't a great cotton candy stick. It's a weird shape. I guess that's that. You're ignoring my presence, but thank you for my try rod back. Ugh. Glad we get it back, but now I feel queasy. I agree. I don't remember the last time I had cotton candy. It's been a while for me too, man. It's been a while. I think it's been at least 8 years. Since the last time I had it was I was at a fair, and that was in another state. Ugh. A Deku ate off of this. Would you please clean that off later? I agree. I really... I agree. This needs to be cleaned. Ugh. Okay, we made it back to our starting point. And we had Mrod, too. That afraid of monsters? Of course, you can't talk to him. Can't even stand to look at him. Speaking of cotton candy, what's your opinion on cotton candy? We just got through with Halloween, so surely you've got a set of favorite Halloween candies, and I'm curious about what your opinion on cotton candy is in relation to that as well. Whether it be cotton candy as cotton candy, or as like as an ice cream flavor or a soda flavor. I can get behind that. Best to avoid eye contact. No, really, I am definitely curious though. Because, it's something. Don't really care for cotton candy? Yeah. Yeah. In flavor and as a thing on its own. Interesting. Is it just too much straight sugar? Or is it something else? Where is our bed? Oh, you can't go over him like that. Hehehehe. Sneak past. Not a huge sweets guy unless it's brownies. Interesting. Is that because they tend to be a little bit more chocolatey and moist, or do you prefer the dry brownies? Like, I enjoy cotton candy from time to time, but I can also avoid it. I hear ya. I like me some sugar from time to time, but I also really like me some savory stuff. Like meat, pizza, etc. Nah, fudgy brownie supremacy. I'm right there with you. I made some really good moist fudgy brownies not too terribly long ago, and they were happiness. Though, I know some people that prefer their drier brownies. Oh, I forgot. This is water, therefore those get big. Just because, you know, well, one, they're not going to dry out, they're already there. But then, what was the explanation that I got for that? Was it something to do with the stable consistency? Or what? Because like so many brownies that I had often got so dry, I was like, eh. That's not for me. Although, in spite of that, the people who were making said dry brownies kept making more brownies that were also dry. Can do any, but prefer fudgy all the way. That is music to my ears. Can't do brownies with nuts. Interesting. Not a nut lover. What about peanut butter brownies? Does that also apply to the brownies with nuts? Or is that actually an exception to the rule? Where's my water? Oh. Interesting. Hey, we made it. Do like nuts. Favorite snack. Just can't have them in your sweets. Interesting. I think that's fair. Because, like, I'll snack on salted nuts all the time. And though I'll eat them just about anything. I know that there's a lot of different opinions on nuts. There's a lot of different opinions about pizza too, for that matter. I wonder how I'm supposed to get past that. Oh, I see. Supposed to go backwards from elsewhere. Well, no, because there isn't a way to get into there. Regain breath. Get below the boulder. Not low enough. Nope. Doesn't work. Can this go underwater? It can. That works. And we made it just in time too. Okay. Then we can use that to get through. Here we go. I feel like there was something else that we had available that we could use too for that. Made it out. Oh, you're free. I hope you're alright. This is the Deku Scriptos by the Rift. Lasu. Came to thank you for getting rid of the thorns at my home. I used to like that stuff, but I'm fed up with it. I don't even want the stupid membership card anymore. Now we've got the membership card. Huh? You want my membership card? Sure, why not? It's the least I can do. Surely enough, we wound up going through 3 steps to get a membership card. Otherwise, that thing was going in the trash anyway. I agree. I don't want spiderweb cotton candy. Alright, we finally got a membership card. Man, the nuts actually have me thinking about picking up some nut stacks. Since I've been munching on some salty nut snacks lately. Not like honey roasted or anything, just nuts and sea salt. Oh, where are we? Lands of the Goddess. Rift in Foreign Woods. Rescuing the hero Link. Where are we right now? We've got one over here and one over here. Let's warp down here and see if we can actually touch that one or if it's blocked off. Lionheart! Hello, friend. How are you this evening? Or afternoon? Morning? Time zones. Add. It should be like 4 a.m.? Is that right? But hey, a friend. Did you play the Monster Hunter Wilds? Did you play the Monster Hunter Wilds? I am very excited about it. Just got off with some friends playing an IO game. IO game, like the web address stuff. Same time as you. Okay, so also the Central Time. It is currently 10:33, and we still do not have Monster Hunter Wilds released. I may have played for a little bit too much time. Still don't have a proper console. Yeah, 10:33. Okay, interesting. So, Central Time. I don't know why I thought it was like Eastern or European time. Saw you playing with Such. Yes, we were maybe playing more than we responsibly should have. But yeah, if you see us in the voice chat, feel free to just hop on in and hang out and chat. Definitely don't need to Caribbean. Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking. But I never remember time zones. Tropical storm headed for us. Ooh. Definitely stay safe with that. I heard about the tropical storm since we've been getting some of the weather from it as well. Fourth. Yeah. Oof. But yeah, always feel free to hop into the voice and hang out if you see us in there. Since that's exactly why we're in there. One Grange us and we sent Beryl to you guys. I'm hoping that we get fewer storms. It's not been terrible this year, but it's surprising how late we're still getting them. Since we don't tend to get them this long into the year. But it has been worse before. It just hasn't been great this year either. Raining 7 days on and off. Yeah, I think we're 5 days into the rain on our end, with another, I think, 7 days coming, based on the weather reports I've been seeing. Like, oof. Uh-oh. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No. Boy, target the right thing. Help. Target. There we go. Ow. Youch. My boy Link, what have they done to you? They have taken him away and put him in a dark, dangerous place. And now it's up to Zelda to do the rest. Oi. Fine. Five star. Let's sure. You can help me. Just increased res. That's not Link. Yep. Hello, Zelda. There we go. So, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom actually basically starts off by saying, yeah, bye, Link. So you actually play as Zelda the entire time. And as you see, she summons things. And honestly, it plays pretty well. I may have derped a little bit just there, but this has been a very cute and interesting take on the series. I have been having a blast with it, as identified by the fact that I'm pretty much at the end of the game. There's a thing over there. What is going on over here? Oh, I see. There we go. Stop the Twilight Princess missing out without any consoles. Yeah, with the Nintendo ones being pretty much exclusive to Nintendo consoles all the time. It's pretty much either emulate or buy a console to play. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's scary. You're no longer targetable. What if I drop a bomb on you? Hey, there we go. Hehehe. If it works, it works. How would I smack that? Oh, that's already been smacked. I see. I can't smack that which has been smacked. Oh. Right, we've been here. And this guy is scary. But that is so worth it. That was a very good summon to have picked up earlier. Ooh. Okay. Sneak back on out of here. And just pretend that we never entered this area. Moving right along. Yeet. No thanks. So you basically collect the essence to summon stuff. Yeah, more or less. Whenever you defeat something or find an object that you haven't seen before, you'll be able to get a summon of it by heading over to it. And I can actually demonstrate that. It's like we told you, Bumpkin, there's no going in the sweet spot unless you've got a membership card. So you've got one. Why didn't you say so? We'll open the door for you. I actually don't want to go in here right now because I just remembered there's a new essence that I need to collect. Have a sweet time. Thank you. Bye. Where did we come out from again? We were over here. That was at here, and our drop was, yeah, over here. Head over to the left. And then down into the dungeon that we just escaped from to get the item that we missed earlier. Sneaking right along. Zip, zip, zip. Just force them to keep moving. Teehee. This is fine. Remove that. Oh, right. Huh. Oh, I know what to do. Oh, you actually can't go up through that. Interesting. If I had a single height item, like a rock, I should be able to place one of them and confirm I cannot indeed go through that. Yeah. That's the limit of it. I have to go the other way to go the rest of the way through that. Zip. Bring this back out because that guy's going to... Oh, he didn't appear. Okay. Then what I need to do is... Flap boom. Up, 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 up. There we go. Move you over here. Oi! Gee, thanks. Okay. There we go. Back up. And through the other entrance this time. This is the Clink. You know, for bad people. You're the one we arrested. Back to your cell. Oh, well. Well, we're back in now, which is what we wanted. But, oops. This we should be able to learn. Aww. I was hoping we could actually learn that because it was a new item that we hadn't seen before. But it looks like, no, we're not allowed to actually learn that one. That's unfortunate. Because I saw a couple of new things here. What you see when you come up to a new item that you haven't interacted with before is the item will be glowing with like a golden shimmery glow. And you can interact with it with your right trigger to make it as a new echo that Zelda can then use to summon in other locations. But instead of that, we're just gonna zip around. Oh, he got me. He got me. Okay, here we go. Hehe. I got you this time. Okay. And now we can just finish escaping. Here we go. And up. And here we go. Yeah, placing at a distance helps. That definitely helps. Okay. We were out a lot faster that time. Now we can enter the sweet spot. I was, bit sad that we didn't get a new summon from that. I was hoping for a new echo that we could use in the upcoming stuff inside the sweet spot. We might get one though. The Great Spider. Ah, spider webs. Yep, all the cotton candy we can eat. Ugh. I really need to wash my staff. What? Who are you? Are you a new member here? Uh-oh. The rift is expanding. The thorns! They're spreading! Watch out, everyone! What is it? We're spinning cotton candy, okay? You might want to stop for a second. You're being annoying. Why don't you just... Huh? Ah! Bye. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Not good? No figure. Somebody save us, they say, after they sent us to jail for this. What was our 5-star that had a shield and a sword? Dark Knight level 3? No. Sword Moblin level 3. There we go. That's what we want. Because it's going to stay in place. Yeah. That's good against these guys. That's what I was looking for. Because it doesn't keep running. Our friends disappeared in the thorns. There's probably plenty of cotton candy in there. It's dangerous. Yeah. What if they're gone for good? Well, we just need to mend the rift. Does mend the rift mean getting rid of the thorns? That would mean no cotton candy. Oh, what do you care about more, your friends or cotton candy? Don't say cotton candy. Yeah. Yeah. Addictive cotton candy. They've got a sweet tooth. I can create an entrance here. Stand back. Alright, here we go. Here we go. So, I've definitely gone a little bit over my allotted time. But we did at least make it to the still world. But I had so much to yap about with the wilds. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the thing releasing. So I don't regret the wilds yap. In one sense, it's surprising how much you can go over in a shorter block of text compared to a presentation, but that also tends to be how it goes. You practically need to condense it down to just 2 or 3 points if you want to finish it off in a short duration, when it's going to be a much more interactive sort of. I got eaten! You know? Yeah, no, that didn't make sense at all. The, Yep has won. Hey, there we go. Oh, a Zappy Bat. I want the Zappy Bat. Give me Zappy Bat. There's a new Echo. That's what we're talking about. Electrokeys. Does that require electricity, or does that require fire? It requires fire. But there's Drip-a-Tongue in the way. This Drip-a-Tongue is now gone, and so we have unlocked the power of fire. But this still world is definitely going to go for too long. So we'll set the... That's exactly what I intended to do, uh-huh. That's how it was meant to go. Yeah, yeet? We'll sit here by this cozy fire that definitely didn't knock us off the ledge. And then call it there. to finish up with one more round, since we're at least as far in as we are. On, I think, Saturday, since we've already got plans for Thursday and Friday of this week. But we'll load out from here and pick back up on a later date. That reminds me. I need to tell Siri to do a thing. There we go. Reminder set. But where's my proper screen? Here we go. As always, thank you all for joining me with the endless yap and the games and all of the things. It has been a fun time, and this is about one of the only ways I can actually make excuses to play video games anymore, by going on a stream and saying, okay, now I'm doing something productive. I can excuse the video gaming, because I'm always got so much stuff to do. But this gives me an excuse to hang out with friends and actually play games again. But each of y'all that hopped in, Bubba, Bean, Alexia, Lou, Lion, and all the rest that were hanging out in the chat with Lorx, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for dropping by on, hanging out, chatting, lurking, and hello, friend. Welcome back. Yes, I agree. Never an excuse to have fun. Yeah. Gotta... all the adult things with work, saying, okay, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to do it. So we've been enjoying it. We've been enjoying it. But chatting and lurking alike, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for dropping on by and either just listen to this nerd yap or chat or fail at the video games. Let's turn back on the musics that were running in the background as we fade on out from the Zelda musics. And we're gonna load on out for our raid to a friend. I will be live again on Thursday night for some software development. And on Friday for some Elden Ring. Yeah, we've got pain coming. The Discord isn't quite done yet, but the live alerts are finally in. I actually got surprised by the live alert that Discord sent me while I was just clicking start stream a little bit early so that I would have that running. But as that gets finished and some of the other things that we're cooking with are done, then I'll actually properly promote that later. We've got some resources coming in there in the future. But let's see. What is... You know what? That's perfect. We were talking about Monster Hunter Wilds earlier and doing RPGs. We're gonna go say hi to a friend called Kaye. They are currently playing Monster Hunter World. They recently finished Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which is what we were playing. And that's right on point for the kind of stuff that we've been doing recently. They are a very wholesome streamer, very kind, very enjoyable and chill environment. They've done a lot of really interesting content creation. They've been recently doing some art and coffee art that you can find on their Twitter. And they've done a good bit of singing or song covers that they've done of their own. Ask them about Vote for Kaye. You'll get a good chuckle out of some of that fun, enjoyable, and wholesome content. But y'all take care, be kind to yourselves and to others, and definitely do whatever you must with your self-care for snacks and food and sleep, because we can't do it for you, but we definitely want to see you doing well so that we can hang out more and spend time together and chill. Y'all take care, be kind to one another,